welcome to week number 2. Week number 2 in Tennessee for Baylor's opponent, though. It's the first game of the season. We are live at Haywood Stadium, banks of the Tennessee River, where it's 89 degrees, warm, humid, and partly cloudy as the top-ranked Red Raiders, fresh off a 38-20 win over Brentwood Academy, try for their 13th win in a row, taking on Loudoun Academy, 14th win in a row. 12-0 last year, 1-0 so far this year, looking for win number 14 against Loudoun Academy from Leesburg, Virginia. Loudoun Academy, they'll make another trip to Chattanooga this season because they play McCallie on September 25th. It'll be the top-ranked Red Raiders, number 12 in the country, taking on a team that we don't know a whole lot about, but we know the stars are going to come out tonight. When you take a look at Baylor, fresh off that win last week against Loudoun Sports Academy from Virginia tonight, then 2 straight on the road at Rayburn Gap, at Trinity. The next home game for the Red Raiders will be September 18th against CPA. CPA, MBA back-to-back, and then throw in the Blue Tornado on the 25th. MBA on the 25th, McCallie on October 2nd. Bye week, Legacy at home, on the road at Ensworth and Knox Catholic. A tough schedule. This is week number 1 for Loudoun Sports Academy. In fact, they're not even in school yet. Classes have not begun, but their schedule is pretty formidable as well. This week at Baylor, the Hun School next week, Rayburn Gap, DeMatha, the Poets, then McCallie, FCA, St. Thomas More, Mount Zion Prep, Riverdale Baptist, TSJPA. Yeah, I had to look it up. The St. James Performance Academy in the final game of the season. For the Red Raiders, the numbers that are important, 1-0 on the year, and a nice performance in the opening game of the season.
Boy, Jim, what a physical contest to start the season with. Brentwood Academy came in here trying to avenge that loss in the state championship game, and they played well. Very physical football game, lots of penalties. By your count, 34 penalties between 2 teams, 28 of those accepted, a lot of strange calls. And all in all, the Red Raiders survived a physical battle to pull away late and notch a very important win to start the season.
Yeah, when you think about it, in one of those games, you look at the final score. If you didn't watch the game, you say 18 points. Wow, it was easy. It was a 4-point game late in the second half. And I would say every sportscaster, every sportscast on TV in the state of Tennessee should thank that guy, David Gabriel George, because he made their highlight packages and their sportscasts a whole lot easier.
Boy, from the flip run early to just some he took every shot Brentwood Academy had for him and then some, and still managed to score 3 touchdowns, and they pulled away late in the second half. Really a physically dominating performance by DGG. Maybe not the spectacular long runs we're used to seeing, but everybody knew who he was all over that field. He took their best shot and led the Red Raiders to a very convincing win. But you're right, it was a lot closer than score indicate. In fact, it was a 4-point game in the second half, but Baylor pulled away. Their offensive line just kind of took control of the game, and their defense capitalized and shut Brentwood Academy down. And that is a heck of a way to start the season.
Yeah, I just thought if you didn't know who DGG was before, especially following the commitment to Tennessee, so every Tennessee fan was watching on a Thursday night, he did not disappoint at all. It was absolutely spectacular. And some Tennessee fans that had not watched him before, I said, welcome to Thursday, welcome to Friday, welcome to Saturday. He does it every game.
He really does. He was the most physical player on the football field. Wasn't the lone star, though, for the Red Raiders. Number 9, Corey Faulkner, from his linebacker spot, an interception and a touchdown on offense. Number 9 was all over the place, and he certainly showed up in a big-time way, defensively and offensively for the Red Raiders. And there's a host of other young faces that are going to get their shot to find the end zone tonight as well.
I thought Corey Faulkner was outstanding, played both sides of the ball and had an impact on both sides of the ball.
Antoine Adams, cornbread from his receiver spot. He was very effective, and we have got to talk about Cortez Carr Jr., number 51, the Hawk.
I call him the Hawk.
From his and a lot of people wearing Hawk shirts call him the same thing. That nose guard position is so important in a 3-down lineman defense the Red Raiders like to run, and he was really effective plugging gaps, and he was effective putting pressure on the quarterback. They needed that and then some to get the job done, and they did.
Yeah, it's one of those positions. You can call it nose tackle or you can call it disruptor. If he could just find a crease and just put some pressure on the quarterback or stuff a hole and allow those linebackers to get up there and make plays. That's what happens. You slow them down on the defensive line, let your linebackers roam a little bit and get all those tackles.
And you make a quarterback go laterally before he throws the football. That makes the defense faster on that alone. It was a solid effort defensively by the Red Raiders, and Cortez Carr Jr. was a big part of that. Likewise, number 9, Corey Faulkner.
Eric Kimry in his 5th year as the head football coach here at Baylor, looking for career win number 240 tonight. 239-26 through 21 years at Baylor, 45-6 as the head coach with a pair of state championships. He's been the head coach here since 2022. Came to Baylor after serving as the tight ends coach at his alma mater, and that, of course, is South Carolina. Was at the Hammond School for 17 years and won 12 state championships in that 17-year span, including 6 in a row. He is a graduate, was a graduate student at South Carolina. He likes the Gamecocks, I'll say that, and he likes the Red Raiders as well. Coming off a state championship, so his first season here, Baylor was in the championship game. Well, they've been in the championship game all 4 years thus far. Runner-up, champion, runner-up, champion. Okay, so now we get greedy, and you see if Eric Kimry can lead the Red Raiders to back-to-back state titles.
This has been the most successful run Baylor's had in what seems like about 10 years, and they're just trying to make the most of it right now while they have so much talent at their disposal.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Loudoun Academy. A lot of people have not heard of them. It is not Loudoun, Tennessee. It's not near Knoxville. It's in Leesburg, Virginia. And I've heard the comparisons made to IMG, and maybe that's the goal in the future, but it is Loudoun Sports Academy. So they do get student athletes that have some talent in a variety of sports, including football.
Well, they have tonight on their roster 38 players
38
that have Division I offers. So the Cup, they are loaded. They may not have the full numbers that Baylor has. They have about 45 players on the team, but what they may not have quantity, they certainly have some quality. And this ought to be a pretty interesting matchup. Offensively, they have Anthony Jackson, the junior quarterback, and they have 2 receivers that they told me before the game are their best players on offense. Number 1, Malachi Lee, 6'3", 215 junior, and Cam Wade, number 5, the senior, 5'11", 175. So you can expect them to try and get the ball in their hands on each and every series. It should be a very interesting game from that standpoint.
Yeah, when we talk about Loudoun Academy a little bit, and every coach everywhere, every time uses the phrase work in progress, I'm not sure this particular team is not a work in progress, but the whole program is a work in progress. I think, and I'm not looking down on anyone, I think they would like to be Baylor. I think they want to be a team that is as deep. And you take a look at what the Red Raiders have on your screen right now. Take a look at all those uniforms and all those bodies. They don't have the depth yet at Loudoun Sports Academy. That's what they're building for. And I think that's maybe the difference in tonight's game, and the fact that it's a warm, humid evening. You better have some bodies. And I'm not sure that Loudoun Sports Academy has all the bodies. So we'll see if anything wears down in the third quarter and fourth quarter of tonight's game.
Well, it's just their second year in existence. So they're off to a quick start, but 2 years. This is a young program, a young school, and obviously a young football team. They're going to get a serious dose of battle-testedness tonight, that's for sure.
Let's take a look at Keegan Croucher, who had some pressure on him last week, although if there was pressure on him or David Gabriel George or Corey Faulkner, they sure didn't show it. I would say for Keegan Croucher, having to replace, step up, for Briggs Cherry to come in there, he looked like one cool customer on a very warm night against a really good team.
There was a throw in the second half where he threw into the left end zone in a tight window, and that had some serious juice on it, and he threw that ball as comfortably in the fourth quarter as if he was warming up. That was the most impressive throw. He made some really good decisions and showed a little more speed running the football, I think, than we gave him credit for before that game.
So Keegan Croucher, that tight end group is good. It all starts up front. We've talked about that for how many years that we've been involved in the Baylor program. When it starts up front with 6'7", 315, 6'5", 305, 6'3", 295, 6'4", 285, and 6'7", 295 on that offensive line. That's where it starts, or maybe that's where it stops.
And that's where they you have to get to a point in every football game where you do what you want to do despite the opponent knowing what you're going to do. That's what happened in the fourth quarter last week. That offensive line took over. You're right. I love the tight ends, Braxton Rain and Brady Lewis. You'll watch them tonight, folks. They'll kind of signal where the play should start. Both these guys, outstanding blockers and great hands as well.
The guy you see, 55, I think that's the heart and soul of that offensive line right there. Cash Freeman, senior's been around, is committed to East Carolina. There's that offensive line. Those are not small humans, are they?
It's a large group of young men, and they're functioning well. They especially came together in the second half.
Game number 2, Red Raiders trying to extend the winning streak tonight. Red Raiders and Loudoun Sports Academy tonight.
We'd like to extend a warm welcome to the Loudoun Sports Academy fans who have traveled to the game from Leesburg, Virginia. At this time, we would like to introduce the starting lineup for the visiting Timberwolves, coached by Jesse Jackson. At quarterback, Anthony Jackson. At running back, Marquise Sharp. At wide receiver, Malachi Lee. At wide receiver, Cam Wade. At wide receiver, Mickey Davis. At tight end,
Tonight's game is made possible in part by Park Ridge Health System. With 5 hospitals working together as one in the Chattanooga region, Park Ridge Health provides a full range of medical and mental health care, including sports medicine and orthopedics. For more information, visit parkridgehealth.com. This game is being played according to the rules of the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association. These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can also help to promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Each one is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this game at a high level of sportsmanship. Your cooperation is appreciated by the TSSAA. Tonight's
everybody to connect it back to this?
I don't know, honey.
I didn't set it up. I didn't realize this was on headphones.
David Gabriel George, running back, senior.
Beckham Stokes, receiver, junior.
Keegan Croucher, quarterback, senior. Hank DeGennaro, receiver, junior.
Braxton Rain, tight end, junior.
Jalen Clovier, wide receiver, freshman.
Jean-Pierre Eto'o, running back, senior.
Cash Freeman, center, senior.
Max McClure, O-line, senior.
Adam Thornburg, offensive tackle, sophomore.
Dante Wade, offensive tackle, junior.
Grant Vinson, O-line, junior.
Brady Lewis, tight end, senior.
Antoine Cornbread Adams, safety, junior.
Xavier Bowman, DB, junior.
Jordan Darangila, DB, senior.
Maxim Sugonyako, linebacker, junior.
Corey Faulkner, linebacker, senior.
Cosmo Namadia, linebacker, junior.
Bogdan Kuzba, defensive end, sophomore.
Hans-Henri Julien, DN, senior.
AJ Bays, DB, junior.
Edward Brewer, linebacker, freshman.
Isaac McCarty, safety, junior. Isaac Beeson, D-line, senior. Jacob Tate, linebacker, senior.
Cortez Carr Jr., D-line, junior.
Sam Shutters, kicker, senior. Christopher Smith, long snapper, junior.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to please stand for the invocation before tonight's game to be delivered by Reverend Matt Farr. Then please remain standing for our national anthem to be sung tonight by Alex Kelly of the class of 2029.
I invite you all to join me in the spirit of prayer. God of all, we are here to cheer and have fun. But first, it is meet and right that we take a moment to thank you for the life of Our Lady of Appalachia, Dolly Parton. She was the embodiment of the best of us. She was good, she was kind, she was joyful. She was generous, she was faithful, and she always loved all of humanity. We thank you for her example. Help us to be a blessing to others as she was a blessing to us. So now we raise our cups of ambition and pray for a safe and fun game tonight. All this we ask in your name. Amen.
And now, Alex Kelly will sing our national anthem.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang high, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave.
Warning, warning. Red Raiders have been spotted in your area. This is not a test. This is not a drill. Please do not engage. They are dangerous. They are unrelenting. Retreat immediately. I repeat, do not engage.
The captains will now meet at midfield for the opening coin toss. Tonight we have an honorary captain from the upper school, Susan Griffith. We take you down to the field for tonight's coin toss with head referee Aaron Davis.
I got 5, 2. Can't see the third.
I've already passed that.
All right, never mind.
You guys can tell your ref to turn his mic on. Go ahead, JR. Big Red Nation.
Big Red Nation. Please welcome your 2026 Baylor Red Raiders.
Ranked number 1 in the state of Tennessee, number 12 in the nation, according to Max Preps. Off to a 1-0 start with a hard-fought, harder than the final score indicates, 38-20 win over Brentwood Academy last week at home. So a second straight home game, then 2 on the road, 4 more total at home, and then 2 more on the road to end the season. And then we'll be in the postseason.
Chapter 2 tonight.
I'm a believer in that cliche that teams improve the most from first game to second game, because first game you got the first game jitters. You're not really sure what the substitution pattern is going to be, what it's all about. But now you have an opportunity. You've played a game, and for the Red Raiders, they've won a game. And so they've had success, played pretty darn well. I'm a believer in that you make big strides from game 1 to game 2.
Well, with all the penalties last week, if they can cut those down to single digits, that alone is going to improve their standing on both sides of the football.
Yeah, and some of those penalties were late hits and things like that. There were some pre-snaps, and when you have 34 penalties, there's a plethora of violations, right? So there's a lot of things to improve on from week 1 to week 2. But the winning continued in the opening week of the season. The much anticipated matchup rematch of that state championship game between the Red Raiders and Brentwood Academy, and Red Raiders dominated the second half. DGG dominated the fourth quarter, and Baylor won that game by 18. The Timberwolves, T-Wolves kick it off, and we're underway. Will not be returned, and so Baylor takes over first down, 10 yards to go. First quarter just underway as the sun goes down. Thank you very much. Out of our eyes for the moment as we get ready for game number 2 of the season. And there's the leader, and I would say his leadership qualities really showed last week. Keegan Croucher, 6'5", 215 senior from Fonda, New York. Played at Cheshire Academy in Connecticut. He's a Rivals Elite 11 camp guy, 4-star, commit to Ole Miss. And he led the Raiders to a win last week, and starting quarterback here once again. Week number 2. Man in motion. And you mark that down. I think that was a negative play from scrimmage right there.
That was JP at 2
It
on
was.
the carry last. And you know, talking about Keegan Croucher, he mentioned this week after the game, that game last week is why he came to Baylor, to play in that kind of environment on that kind of stage, and he played well.
Played very well. And again, I know a lot of eyes were focused on other areas, but the state of Mississippi and Connecticut and New York, they were looking at Keegan Croucher, setting up the screen. Antoine Adams kind of made something out of nothing right there. There wasn't a whole lot. He was able to play off the blocker well. That's the best thing he did. Utilized the blocker, picked up a couple extra yards.
It looked like the Timberwolves had that defended, but
Right.
they didn't tackle well, and Antoine was able to turn that upfield, and now you have a third and manageable 2 yards to extend the drive.
Yeah. Nose of the football right at the 28-yard line, as you can see. So a third down and 2. Have to hit the 30-yard line to pick up a first down. 6'5" quarterback Croucher goes from the gun. They move the tight end to the right side and overload that side. Going wide. I think that's number 0. He made that look easy, didn't he?
And the change move, thanks in part to some nice blocking by the Baylor offensive line. Well, they sealed the right edge, and DGG moves the sticks.
So, David Gabriel George did his job, and there's my one carry. I got the first down. JP, back to you, buddy. 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. They had to get the 30, and David Gabriel George got him about the 38 or 39-yard line. Croucher with JP at 2, standing next to him. Handoff, plays off his blockers well, and keeps the legs churning a little bit. Picks up 2, maybe 3 yards on that first down play.
Nice, forceful push by the offensive line. Gain of 4 on first down.
Yeah.
That's never a bad thing. Interesting matchup for Baylor. Antoine Cornbread Adams, and he was paired against defensive back number 6, Camden Taylor, 6'2" senior for the
T-Wolves.
The T-Wolves, Loudoun Sports Academy, and they're set up again at the top of your screen.
That'll be a good matchup to watch all night long. Croucher from the gun. Stays in the pocket. Hits it underneath. I think anyone would tell you that probably should have been caught, and you know who would say it first and foremost? Antoine Adams.
Boy, just didn't quite look that in. Was trying to get his feet set and turn it upfield, and did everything but catch the football.
So it'll be 3rd down for the Red Raiders. 1-for-1 third down conversion so far in this drive. Opening drive of the game, as you can see, no score. Loudoun Sports Academy from Leesburg, Virginia. And it's their first game of the year. School not even in session yet. That makes it a little tougher. I think school doesn't start, I think, until September 9th. That's as late as I've seen any school anywhere. 3rd down. Croucher being rushed. Hangs in the pocket. Wow, that's a great Braxton Rain catch. And you talk about that's Keegan Croucher at his best. What a short window. He had a lot of confidence in his tight end, and I would say because Braxton Rain catches footballs.
And he led his receiver a little bit out of the way of contact. And Braxton Rain, nice concentration. 2 defenders had a beat on him. 18 reels it in. Longest play from scrimmage of the night so far.
That was a well-thrown football. And the Red Raiders able to convert on 3rd down. Braxton Rain says, what are we doing? David Gabriel George back in the lineup.
Might be delay of game.
Yeah, it took a long time. You saw Braxton Rain extend the arm, so somehow someone didn't get the play, or maybe they didn't get the play in on time, but got a break right there. With the play clock running down, some anticipation by the Timberwolves, they jump offside and make some contact.
So let's look at this pass. He knows right where he's going to go with the football.
I think that was a great play.
Through to a spot, medium to low. Braxton Rain reeled it in.
For the 1st down. Down this 1st down play, which was 1st down and 5, following the penalty. And he picks up another 1st down. To the 20-yard line, where it's 1st down and 10. Raiders have moved from 20 to 20 on this opening drive of the football game. JP Etu getting some work so far tonight, and he's in there right now. Croucher rolls out, moves the pocket far side, steps up. Can he throw it away? Tries to, and able to do so. Maybe waited a split second too long, but somehow he was able to get it away with no grounding.
I think he wanted Brady Lewis, but the brush just turned that play upside down. He was lucky to get rid of the football.
Sure was. That could have been a loss of 12 or 13 yards. Enough arm strength to sling it out there and complete that pass to the Loudoun Academy sideline. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. 2nd and 10. And again, JP Etu stays in the game. Now, look at JP. He's not a small guy either now. Stands next to Croucher, and you can see the bulk on number 25. Stands to his left. Cornbread wide on the right side. And Etu gets the call. Up the middle, jump step, and just picks up a hard-fought yard between the tackles.
That was nice defense that time by the Timberwolves. Really had that play stopped almost behind the line of scrimmage. They still were managed to turn it, instead of a loss, a net no gain. So that brings up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I thought he'd picked up a yard, but they spotted at the 20. So another 3rd down. Baylor's 2 of 2. They faced 2 third downs on this opening possession of the game and have obviously converted both times.
There's that matchup.
Yeah, and there's that.
At the bottom of the screen, Cornbread versus Camden Taylor of the Timberwolves.
David Gabriel George is your 3rd down specialist, I guess, so far tonight. Croucher rifles it at the goal line, up in the air and incomplete.
That was great defense by number 1 of the Timberwolves, Malachi Lee, the junior, 6'3", 215. He climbed the ladder and got just enough of the football to let that pass fall incomplete.
Malachi Lee, you see him on Antoine Adams. What we've said all night long so far. That's going to be a good matchup. So Baylor will try a 37-yard field goal for Sam Shutters. From the 27, kick on the way, and I don't think he's going to make it. It flutters off to the right side and is no good. He didn't kick that one squarely at all, and so a rarity for the Red Raiders, right? Got the football first and did not score.
Sam needed a hook and hit a slice on that one.
You can relate to that, right?
Yes.
And vice versa?
Usually the slice.
7:28 to play in a quick-moving first quarter. Let's say we're well ahead of the pace of last Thursday night's game, where the first quarter seemed like it took over an hour. with a lot of
Wasn't
penalties.
It an hour and 20 minutes.
It was
for the first half.
It was past my bedtime.
This will be interesting to see what the Timberwolves can uncork here.
That's Anthony Jackson is the quarterback. You see some speed running around the far side from Cam Wade,
and
Wade
that's
number 5.
Jim, that's one of the players they're really big on, and they really want to get him on the edge, and you saw the end around to start this drive.
So I think they want to test Baylor's speed a little bit just to see if they live up to the hype. Usually they do, but that's a 7-yard pickup on first down. You get ahead of schedule like that, now you got 2 downs to pick up 3 yards. Makes your life and the life of an offensive coordinator a whole lot easier. Anthony Jackson, number 3, the quarterback, operates from the gun. Hands it off, trying to go wide to the short side. That's a first down and a couple of yards more. So he gets to the 30-yard line, starting at the 20, picking up that first down.
Jim, that's their number 0, Marquise Sharp, the 6'9 junior, 199 pounds, who just followed his blocks to move the chains.
Opening drive of the game for the Timberwolves. See, 76 and 70. I'm guessing that's about 620 pounds right there, maybe, between those two on the right side of the offensive line. But they've gone left so far in the first 2 plays. 4-man front for Baylor, trying to sneak up another linebacker.
That's going to be an offsides on Mekhi Davis, number 13.
When the wide receiver jumps offside, yes, snap count wrong. So 1st and 15 back at the 27-yard line. 1st and 15 for the Timberwolves. It is their opening game of the season. They'll be back in Chattanooga in a couple of weeks, taking on McCallie. And while Baylor will be at Rabun Gap next week, they will play Rabun Gap on the road a couple of weeks after that. Jackson drops back, kind of a sidearm sling, and he finds a receiver for another Timberwolves first down.
That's one of their impact players,
Malachi Lee.
Malachi Lee.
Yeah, you could see Malachi Lee, 6'3", looks taller than that, but I think this one's going to come back because of the holding call.
Boy, that was an interesting throw by Anthony Jackson. Just did what he had to do to get the ball in the right place, but somebody grabbed too much jersey and it's going backwards.
Yeah, that was an interesting arm angle, I'll say that. It was even lower, I think, than just straight sidearm.
But had some remarkable zip on the ball.
Yeah, sure
especially
did.
From that release point.
Sometimes you see quarterbacks that can be mobile, a lot of different things, but can't throw. So far, he's thrown moving backwards, moving sideways, and has shown some arm strength every which way. Jackson with a single setback back to him. Kind of shot puts that one out near side. Just trying to pick some of that penalty back and get yourself in the term we use a whole lot in a manageable situation.
That's Antoine Adams making a nice open field tackle on number 5, Cam Wade. That's what the Timberwolves are going to make this defense do. Tackle in space, one-on-one.
So at the 18-yard line, that holding penalty really put a damper on this drive for the Timberwolves. Opening possession of the game for the T-Wolves after Baylor missed a field goal. They moved from 20 to 19 on their opening drive and missed a 37-yard field goal. Thus, we are still scoreless midway through the first quarter. Another flag. See, I knew I shouldn't have mentioned it. I said we were moving along, not as many flags as last week. Guess what happened? Guess what happened?
I don't think anything's going to match last week.
It'd be tough. But remember, this is the first game for the T-Wolves, and those are just sometimes the kind of penalties you have in game one. That pre-snap, or someone just got antsy, someone just wanted to jump the gun. And
well, if you notice, Jim, everything the Timberwolves have done is based on offensively getting rid of the ball quickly, and that time a little too quickly.
So I think they've had 3 penalties on this opening offensive possession. Sneak into the linebacker, but Faulkner drops back. Dumps off the pass at the 15, up to the 20, then the tackle from behind.
That's Cortez Carr Jr., the Hawk, coming from way back in his nose guard spot to snuff that play out. And again, Jim, in the open field, they're going to test you, and Baylor's been up to the challenge so far.
But that's what a football player is supposed to do. And the play gets in front of him. He's in back of the play, doesn't give up, catches up to the play, and makes the tackle from behind.
Just goes and gets it.
T-Wolves have to get to the 41-yard line to pick up a first down. So they're still behind the sticks right now in third on about 17. Being rushed, being brought down. That occurred quickly.
Emery Julien came with a quickness and a viciousness, and that ends that drive.
Yeah, that's not sending the linebacker. That's getting pressure, getting a sack from your front three. And so after a couple of plays, positive plays for the Timberwolves, they were their own worst enemy for a while, picking up some penalties, and then the sack. So I don't think I'd be saying this as Timberwolves took possession at the 20, and they'll put it away from the 12. Got as far as the 32-yard line, then lost 20 yards on a holding call and a sack. Now punting from your own end zone. And another stoppage.
That's another. So that is 3 pre-snap penalties, 1 post-snap penalty on this drive alone for the Timberwolves.
How do you get a delay of game on a punt? I mean, you know what the play is, right?
I think the whole stadium knew.
That's one of those, when you have guys on special teams, sometimes they play offense and defense and special teams, so sometimes it's just a personnel issue more than anything else. But punt, I got it, yeah. We're punting.
And now Antoine Cornbread Adams stands in on the Baylor side of the 50-yard line.
That snap almost went over the head.
Now we got a defensive pre-snap penalty. So that gives them a little room to work with, not a lot. It's our first look at the kicking game for the Timberwolves.
Yeah. That first snap was a little dangerous. No score first quarter. Snap's a good one. Takes a little bit of time from his own end zone. Ball hits on the 39. Baylor wisely gets away from the football and watch it roll dead around the 46-yard line. So Baylor's first possession, no points, missed field goal. And for the Timberwolves, no points on their first possession. Actually moved it in reverse.
Take a look at the sack. Emery Julien from his right defensive end spot. He just explodes through the blocker and swallows the quarterback. Number 24.
Yeah, and that happened in a hurry, too. It's not like he had to play off some big block. He found a gap, took a beeline to the quarterback, the most direct route, and didn't let him get away. And a very athletic quarterback that we have seen so far. Red Raiders take over on the Timberwolves side of the field. Croucher with time. Floats it on the near side. Couldn't quite catch up. Again, going to Braxton Rain, and this time the 6'6 junior just couldn't quite get there. And maybe Croucher wanted another second to let that ball go.
Yep, kind of threw that off his back foot a little bit. Didn't quite have the steam on it that he needed for that completion.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Baylor on the Loudoun Sports Academy 46-yard line. And guess what? Another flag, holding call. You won't keep up with all those penalties.
I'm just trying really.
I understand.
So that's a big call. That takes Baylor.
It really is.
Now they have a 1st and 20.
You're back on your side of the field after you got good field position starting at the 46-yard line, and holding call costs you 10.
There was some sizzle on that throw. Hank DeGennaro reeled it in. That was a tough catch. That was a fastball there.
Yeah.
But, you know, Jim, you get a chunk of that back.
So now you're 2nd and 12.
8 yards on 1st and 20, not a bad deal. Interesting matchup. David Gabriel George
in the slot
against number 7, Amir Williams, the senior, 6'1", 189.
And DeGennaro is wide, bottom of your screen. We're all the way to the bottom. Croucher. How about that? That's a nice play. Look at that. Running room for Cornbread. And a touchdown. He had enough time. All the flow went left. And then he came back right.
I think the key to that play was the turn by Croucher,
no
which gave
question.
the defense just something 1 second to think about. Antoine Adams with the catch. They're going to rule him out at the 4-yard line. He really has got some fantastic acceleration after the catch.
You mentioned Croucher's move, got everyone leaning one way, right? Then you come back the other way, and that makes you a half step slow. And if you're a half step slow against Cornbread, guess what's going to happen? Inside the 5-yard line, down to the 4. Ruled him out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Wide side, not quite. Ready to look for those hands to go up in the air. Didn't quite happen that way.
Once again, Braxton Rain with another tough catch inside the 1.
So 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Didn't get in. Little sprint draw type of look on that one with
JP Atu tried to spin his way, but it was well defended.
Sure was.
By the Timberwolves defensive line.
They do have some bulk, so they can squeeze things a little bit. Was not a running game in that, a running lane in that A gap, B gap. Good job by the T-Wolves closing those gaps.
Corey Faulkner checks in, and you can hear the fans talking about who they'd like to see carry the football on this play. Good old I formation.
Old school. I think this is a busted play.
Wow.
You see Croucher look. I think it was going to be an old-fashioned pitch sweep out of the I formation, and then he looked, and I don't think there was anyone there for him to pitch it to.
Something went wrong.
Yeah.
Number 11 for the Timberwolves, Kamanta Chaplin, 6'3", 218, with a violent sack to end that play.
And it's 4th down.
That is, at the very least, a 4-point play, depending on if Sam Shutters can nail this kick. Huge play defensively. And you're right, Jim, just a busted play there. Miscommunication.
Shutters will try again with about a 32-yard field goal. I think that's little Cos, the holder. Cosmo DiMatteo. There you go. You're still on it.
It is 5-3 in the penalty category.
Probably the final play of the first quarter. Or maybe the final play of the, oh, there's 58, sorry. 58 seconds left. Kick on the way and points on the board. Sam Shutters missed one earlier, but comes back and gives Baylor a 3-0 lead. 55 seconds to play in the first quarter. Baylor gets on the board first with a 3-0 advantage over Loudoun Sports Academy. Got good field position, got down. Think about this. You're at the 4-yard line, 1st and goal, and You have to settle for 3.
That sack by
Yes.
Kamonta Chaplin was the biggest play of that series. It really kept the Timberwolves in this thing.
32-yard field goal. Yeah, sack. You had a busted play. That I formation play didn't work. 32-yard field goal. The Red Raiders on top 3-0. 6 plays on the drive. Red Raiders move from. Remember, they took possession in Loudoun Academy territory at the 46. Moved it all the way down to the 1. So it went in reverse and then went forward, but technically a 45-yard drive. They get on the board with 50 seconds, so that's 3 minutes and 7 seconds on the drive. Time of possession, 3:07. And scoring with 50 seconds to play in the first quarter.
And good for the Red Raiders to see your kicking game shake off that early miss.
So Baylor 2 possessions, 1 missed field goal, 1 made field goal. This will be possession number 2 of the night for the Timberwolves. Loudoun Sports Academy from Leesburg, Virginia. Just their second year, right?
Yes. And they have some talent, as we can see.
There's no question about that. When you gave that number, what is it, 38?
38 D1.
Division I offers on this football team. I don't care who you are. That's a pretty impressive number. Starting from the 20-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Again, that interesting arm angle, right?
And again, a quick throw to Malachi Lee. You just take the cushion the defense gives you. That moves the chains. Another nice gain on first down, 5 yards. They'll take that anytime on first down.
So it'll be second down and 5. His release is so quick, and I mean, from wherever his arm is, bam, it's gone. And the sidearm is interesting. Most quarterbacks want to go higher to get over those defensive linemen. Moves the pocket a little bit, completes the pass back to the 25 and near the first down marker.
And the rush moved Anthony Jackson off his spot. Didn't want to throw from where he did. But again, Jim, remarkable he's able to get the steam on the football that he does.
I agree. I think they're going to mark him just inches shy, so it'll be third down and really less than a yard at the 29.8 yard line. They haven't done much between the tackles as the first quarter comes to an end. So Baylor scores. Red Raiders score with 50 seconds to play in the first quarter, and they have a 3-0 lead, a 32-yard field goal from Sam Shutters. The difference in the game, the only points of the game. Baylor trying to extend their winning streak, 12 in a row last year, obviously, including capping the season with that state championship. Winning week number 1 last Thursday, so 8 days ago, against Brentwood Academy. A nice win there in the rematch of that state title game, and off to a 3-0 lead right here. Earlier this week, I heard someone playing this Dolly Parton song, the 9 to 5 song. I said, do you know what that noise is in the background? No, that's a typewriter. Typewriter in the bell, the ding at the end of the sentence.
Do they make those anymore? I remember, and if you had an IBM Selectric, you could pound out some copy.
I had the Royal Manual when I first started. I said, hey, Gutenberg, help me out with this thing. Yeah, that's a typewriter that's in this song.
We're breaking down typewriters in between quarters.
Hey, jack of all trade and definitely master of none. Loudoun Academy, Jim Reynolds, Craig Cecil, and our crew here for you on a Friday night, watching the Red Raiders play. Life could be worse. Just look at it that way.
They went to Marquise Sharp that time. He just didn't have a lot of real estate to deal with. The red wall kind of snuffed that play out.
Julian off to a good start so far tonight,
Yes.
so far this year. Had some big plays last week, I thought.
And a presence from that right man. You need, as that defensive line goes, so goes the rest of the defense. If they can create any pressure at all, it makes the rest of the linebackers and defensive backs faster and more physical.
Yeah,
They're able to
pressure
get to the
or just
football.
slow people down sometimes. Pressure again that time. He's able to unload.
I got to give it to Anthony Jackson. I don't know
I'm
how
with
he
you.
got rid of that football, but that was a smart business and football decision there.
Well, there was Julian in the backfield once
Yes.
again, right? Timberwolves may have to find a way to double team him because he's broke absolutely free.
I don't know that he was even blocked on that play.
And that's what that sack looked like on the first possession.
He's going against Malachi Hill on that Timberwolf offensive line. And
He's just outquicked him 2 or 3
24.
times already. Watch him from the edge.
This time they fooled him. They baited him in there and
They
they ran inside.
Yeah, he overran the play a little bit. So Loudoun picks up the first down in their first venture into Baylor territory on a 20-yard run from the 29 to the 49. 31-yard run to the Baylor 49-yard line. First down and 10. Just the second first down of the night for the Timberwolves out of Virginia. Their first game of the year.
Elijah Lewis with that first down, they're going to keep him in there at running back.
And utilize him again. Speed to the outside, picks up 4 or 5, lowers the helmet that time.
Boy, physical run. They brought in the tight end that time, Jim, Will Butler. Big 6'5", 235 senior to kind of lead the way. And Elijah Lewis is a load himself, 33 behind 4, and that moves the chains for about 4 yards.
A.J. Bass-Mays from the cornerback spot, moves from his position, plays off the block, makes a nice tackle at the 45-yard line. Second down after a 4-yard pickup on first down. Second down 6 at the 45-yard line. With time. Now being chased. Boy, you got to like his escapability, but don't tempt me. You may get me once, but I'm bringing in the reinforcements.
Emory Julian that time came from almost a line of scrimmage, and he snuffed that play out. I think you get one spin
There you go.
against this defense, not 2.
Because after that second spin, he had help.
He's in trouble. Yeah.
All the way back to the 43-yard line. So he had it 2nd and 6 at the Baylor 45. That's a 12-yard sack, 12-yard loss.
3rd and 18 here. Anthony Jackson really trying hard. Sometimes when you're a great athlete, you think you can do everything. Not on that play.
There's timeout. Great point in the fact that so many times when I see players, freshmen in college, they were always what? The best athlete on the field or on the floor or on the court, whatever it was. They were always the best one, fastest one, quickest one. Now all of a sudden you find some guys that are just as quick as you or close.
And bigger.
And you think you can outrun them every single time. Sorry. That's part of that educational process sometimes.
Yeah, if I'm Anthony, I'm finding where number 24 in red is before every play.
If I'm Anthony Jackson, I'm telling one of those offensive linemen, you find where number 24 is.
Yes.
And help me out a little
but
bit.
I'm going to double check myself.
Exactly.
Just to just
you
to
know
make
where
sure.
he is?
Yeah.
Because he's made a living in the backfield early in the game,
Better
obviously.
yet, let me tell you where he is. Yeah.
He's really off to a good start and winning those one-on-one battles. I just, focused on him a couple of times. He's just using that quickness to get around from the outside and taking a beeline to the pocket.
Again, 75, Malachi Hill is having an uphill battle tonight, dealing with number 24.
Speed kills, right?
It's just very explosive. This time he took an inside rush.
Nice move.
And honestly, Jim,
That's-
Anthony Jackson
That's
had
not
to,
That's not pass interference. If they call pass interference, I disagree. I can't tell you how much.
Anthony had to get rid of that football way before he wanted to.
Xavier Bowman, all he did was stop, which you can do. He didn't interfere. He didn't use his hands. He didn't rake the arms. He didn't use his hands in any way, shape, or form. The receiver was in back of him, and the Baylor corner, Xavier Bowman, the junior, just stopped, and the receiver made contact with him. Oh, I disagree. Sounds like I've got...
you have some company.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is not the People's Court.
And I'm not Judge Wapner.
There will be
I got you.
No documents to Rusty the Bailiff tonight. Again. Okay, wow. That's going to make it a 3rd and 3. I would have thought that's a first down.
In the backfield, stopped once, bounces off, tries to go wide, and still stopped 2 yards shy of a first down.
Okay, you see number 1 there, spotlighted, and he should be. Cornbread came barreling in from his defensive back spot, really his safety spot, to close the gap, and that is going to force a 4th down and short.
All right, let's take a look. See, he stopped and slowed down, but
I don't think he knew where the ball was, and you got to wonder,
was it
that
catchable?
ball even catchable?
Yeah, it's a good question. Fourth down and 2, up the middle. Can he trip him up? No. Big man running from behind and picking up the first down on a 4th down. Offensive lineman Xavier Johnson lost his helmet, so he has to leave for a play. Big number 77 walking off the field for the T-Wolves. But they convert on 4th down, rolling the dice a little bit, bringing it down to the 36-yard line.
And I think we've seen Jim Elijah Lewis, number 33, is a big and physical back that's tough to handle in the open field.
Yeah, he doesn't mind. I don't think he's going to run around a lot of people, but he will run over them. You don't want to tackle that dump truck coming after, I just tell you. He is a load. And can make that pile move, as he did last time. There you take a look at number 33. Yeah, you get a big running back that has quick acceleration like that, that's not afraid of contact. You got something special right there. 3-0 lead for the Red Raiders. 7.5 minutes, as you can see, to play in until halftime. It's turned out to be a nice night, a little bit on the warm side. Only points of the game occurred with 50 seconds to play in the first quarter. Sam Shutters with a 32-yard field goal. Baylor had gotten the football all the way down to the 1-yard line. Forced to kick the field goal to take the lead on that scoring drive. So Baylor has made a field goal and missed a field goal so far tonight with a 3-0 lead. And that's a pretty good drive by the T-Wolves. They took possession in the first quarter right after the field goal. So they took possession with 50 seconds to play in the first quarter. Now there's just 7.5 minutes to play until halftime. So a limited amount of possessions, at least so far. First possession, Baylor had the ball for 4 minutes. Second possession of the game, T-Wolves had it for about 3 or 4. Trying to sweep the far side, that didn't work well. Pretty good pursuit. Some speed to the edge that time for the Red Raiders.
That was
bringing them down from behind, yeah.
So they've got a host of big running backs.
I'll tell you this, I don't think you can have too many. But those big guys, great between the tackles. You saw the sweeps don't work as well when you have those big guys. That's when you want those smaller, quicker guys. Clock continues to run. No gain on first down over the middle, and that's picked on the deflection. Red Raiders, Xavier Bowman with some running room. Brought down around the 10-yard line. So called for the PI a moment ago and said, you know what? PI this. Gets it on the deflection, and Bowman goes down the far sideline. And for the Red Raiders, turns things around when the T-Wolves had some momentum going their way. Big turnover for number 3.
And what alertness by Xavier Bowman. Let's take a look at this. They wanted to go to Cohen Barnett, number 80, and again, Anthony Jackson got rid of that ball so quickly, I don't know that the receiver was ready for it. It was deflected. Number 3 was there with the interception. He took it the other way, nearly took it to the house.
I've said many times, you see those tip drills. That's why they run those tip drills. Watch this on the deflection. Boom.
Trying to throw a little bit of a slant.
Look what I found.
Barnett could not bring it in, and heads up play by Xavier Bowman. And the Red Raiders are in business. But they are going to call a penalty here after the interception.
Really?
They're going to move that back all the way to the 42. They might have said he stepped out of bounds.
I was going to say, I haven't seen a flag. So they just say that on that far sideline, he stepped out of bounds. 6:38 to play in the second quarter. David Gabriel George back in the game with some running room. There's 10. There's 20. Takes a high pop and brings it inside the 14-yard line.
Nothing finesse about that play. Give it to 0 right up the gut.
He gains 22 yards, and that will be on no one's highlight reel.
Lock your man up and get out of the
22-yard gain. So what? No one will put that on the highlight reel on the sideline wrap up, on Friday night lights, on whatever.
I think what's hard to see, what's hard to really understand is the explosiveness, and I don't even know if that was the full turbo from DGG that time.
David Gabriel George with a block that time. Nicely done. Complete on the sideline, near side to Beckham Stokes. Stokes with a reception. Beckham Stokes with a catch. Near sideline. David Gabriel George, let's focus on that because he did throw the block that time.
And he delivered a blow.
Well, David Gabriel George is one of those, good body and works at it. That's the thing. He's got balance that you can't teach. There ain't enough weight rooms around or workout places around to teach the balance that he has. It's absolutely incredible. When you take someone that physically gifted and then put that mindset that he has, that he wants to be great.
When you talk to the Baylor coaching staff, I asked Costamadio about David last year, and he goes, when we're running a drill or doing something, when David hits you, it's just different. Grant Vincent checking out from the left guard there.
Lost his helmet. Vincent, at the end of that play, you saw the helmet go flying, so he has to check out for one. These drives have been lengthy for both these teams so far tonight. I don't think we've had a 1, 2, 3 and out. We have not. For either team. Not great pitch relationship that time because probably DGG should have gone or should have been a little bit wider. That's one of those, if you want to pitch, you want to make that defensive guy have to choose. Are you going to choose quarterback or pitch man? Pitch relationship a little bit tight that time as he brings it down to the 3-yard line. Hitting the 5-minute mark. 5 minutes left to play in the first half, and just a field goal between these two teams, although the Red Raiders knocking on the door once again with a 1st and goal. Hit once, twice, gets to the 1-yard line. He was lined up pretty deep, I thought, in the backfield that time. That was a good, like I said, good old-fashioned I formation, about 7 yards in back of the line of scrimmage.
Checking in for the Timberwolves, big number 99, Marcellus Jones. He's going straight to the nose guard position.
He takes up 2 time zones, I think. There you go. Just hopped over one. 1 yard gain. First touchdown of the game, and it occurs semi-late in this first half. He had, 3 touchdowns last week against Brentwood, am I right?
In the fourth quarter, yeah, second half.
And that's his first one of the night. Red Raiders give Mr. Bowman a little bit credit for these 7 on the board, right? You score after a turnover. That's what just good football teams do, right?
Great
Someone makes a mistake, and you do what? You make them pay.
And what great reaction by Xavier Bowman. Man,
Yes.
that ball was right there in his face.
So the Red Raiders, as it turns out, have to go 36 yards in 6 plays. David Gabriel George, 1 yard. Do I call it a 1 yard run or a 1 yard hop or a 1 yard jump or?
We'll call it a 1 yard jump step.
First touchdown of the game, giving Baylor a 10-0 lead, as you can see, with 3:58 to play in the first half. Two minutes and 40 seconds time of possession following the interception by the X-Man, Xavier Bowman. Junior cornerback who made that magic happen. Well, look at that.
How about
That football hit a pebble in the
How
infield,
about number
right?
25, JP Atu, with some serious action on that kick. We got a man down for the Red Raiders. I cannot tell the number right now.
It's not like there's a whole lot of contact on that particular play, right?
Right.
28.
That would be Jose Cruz, if that's right. Junior.
He might have tried to cut and maybe rolled an ankle a little bit. That's
Yep.
a little bit of a guess, and I hate to do that. Just might have
Looks
been
like
those
that-
on that kickoff coverage trying to put his foot in the dirt and turn it upfield and might have rolled it a little bit.
He's trying to keep the weight off the
Yeah,
left
for
ankle.
sure. Yeah. So things slow down a little bit, and yeah, he can't put any weight on that at all. Sometimes those ankle sprains are high ankle sprains. Oof. It takes some time to heal sometimes. We'll see. But a nice kickoff once again.
Nice defense that time. Cos DiMatteo will get the assist on the tackle, and he held his position on that right edge. His teammate got the penetration. They both wrapped up. That's a nice way to play that end around with a very fast Cam Wade coming right at you and was dying to cut this thing upfield. There was just nowhere to cut.
So negative yards, losing 3 on first down puts you behind the sticks to begin with. Second down and 13 from back at the 17-yard line. So you got a long way to go in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Anthony Jackson, the quarterback.
Ooh.
Keeping it himself and draws a crowd, doesn't it?
I think whatever he saw closed rapidly.
He got held up in a hurry. And then Kujba was one of those that led the way. See that freshman linebacker, number 30, a guy they're really high on. Lined up in kind of that rover back. Five defensive linemen in there. Putting some pressure, getting to the quarterback, and...
Uh-oh. They're going to call a face mask, though, Jim.
You think face mask or hold?
Looks like they got part of the face mask.
They never ruled safety, so I don't know if this penalty will cost them 2 points. I don't think. Because they never made that safety motion.
Defense number 30. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
That's on number 30, Edward Brewer, who
Yeah.
inadvertently got just enough of that face mask right in front of the official.
He was the guy I was talking about, saying they were high. See, that's on me.
And that gets the Timberwolves out of some serious trouble.
Oof.
Biggest offensive plays tonight have been a pass interference and that face mask for the Timberwolves.
So they move it out from the shadow of their own goal post right there to the 34-yard line on a first down and 10. Jackson with time is a dangerous character, I think. He took a hit or two a moment ago, said, you know what, that sideline looks better all the time.
Chance Thomas on the carry for Loudoun.
Jim, they've made a change.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Chance Thomas at quarterback.
So Thomas replaces Anthony Jackson. With less than 2 minutes to play in the first half. There's a wide open receiver near side, and he underthrew him, threw it back, and that's, well, when you throw that long east and west type pass, you're just begging for a corner or safety to break the route. And
he wanted number 19, Hugo Seizure, but that was way off target.
Clock stop, as you can see, with a minute 51 to play in the first half. Baylor with a missed field goal in their first possession. Made a field goal, scored a touchdown. They're down short. Hit in the backfield.
Hit and stop. That play, they had trouble getting Elijah Lewis on the field for whatever reason. And that was set up for failure from the very beginning. Maxim Sukunyako.
That's their first time out of the first half.
From his linebacker spot was there to blow it up.
Is this a Baylor timeout?
Yes.
So Baylor's thinking what? Hey, we can get the ball back.
Get the ball back.
It's fourth down, so they want to get the possession with as much time as possible. I'll say this about Eric Kimry. He's not a guy that takes a knee very often, right?
No.
If you have a chance to get some points in a close game, in a game that's still in doubt, I'm not insinuating he rubs it in or anything like that, but I'm saying if you have an opportunity, if you have a chance to put your foot on the gas or the brake, he's choosing the gas.
Well, I think they've done nothing that has surprised them defensively. I think he's supremely confident in his football team, in his offense. And that's Bogdan Kujba.
It is.
Limping off the field.
Yeah, walking off a little bit slowly, no question. So on this fourth down, the Timberwolves out of Leesburg, Virginia.
And why not, Jim? Why not take a timeout? Put some pressure on
Absolute-
this kicking game. They haven't really done anything that scares you. So why not?
Especially when you know that Loudoun's playing their first game, and so many first games. Everyone says that they work on special teams more than everyone else. But a lot of times they don't, especially those are glaring on the first day of the field. You can get the ball in Cornbread Adams' hands. See what happens. Decent kick.
Boy, it takes a Timberwolves roll.
Sure
My
does.
goodness.
That's one of those. That's why coaches say, if you can. Now, don't put yourself in danger. If you can field it on the fly and not succumb to that 12-yard football roll, especially on turf, it's well worth the while. But
good decision by Cornbread to let that one go.
Yeah, that's one you do let go. In the fact that
that was a good kick.
You're not going to gamble it going off your chest.
So now you got 1:28 left in the half. You're at the 13-yard line.
You got a long way to go.
But you've got the speed to get there.
Two receivers topside, two on the bottom, so no tight end. Croucher tried to go over the middle to, I think, who's turning out to be one of his favorite receivers.
He had Braxton Rain. That was just not in the right location. Braxton Rain got loose on that release and was open, but it needed to be more towards the sideline. It was high, and it was behind and high.
Yeah, when you throw high over the middle of the field, a lot of times bad things happen. Still a minute 24 to play in the first half. Second down and 10. Baylor on their own 14-yard line with a 10-0 lead over Loudoun Sports Academy from Virginia. Croucher.
Another pass off target. That was a little dangerous.
I don't know if he had some misgivings. He didn't have a lot of confidence, in my opinion, on that throw. It almost looked like he wanted to pull it back and look for something else. And I think just a second of indecision cost him.
Cornbread not fully out of the break that time, Antoine Adams, and it was just a little bit off target.
He's fun to watch, though, isn't he? Antoine Adams.
Some serious speed.
Yes, he does. So third down and 10. Who's going to call the timeout now? You don't have to.
Again off target. Had Braxton Rain just off target.
Pass intended for Braxton Rain is incomplete.
I don't know if Croucher so far tonight's really just stepping into some of those throws. It's not like he's gotten a great deal of pressure. You know, quarterbacks get that quote-unquote discomfort all the time, but a couple of misfires there.
I think that's the first time we've seen him with 3 incompletions in a row.
You might be right.
Well, you need a big-time kick from your special teams right now.
I think Loudoun only has 1 timeout remaining, so that'll be critical.
That's not a great kick. That drive, a grand total of 20 seconds. 3 incompletes.
And I think they're going to give the T-Wolves the football to what?
He's moving up
32?
to the 32-yard line.
We got 68 seconds to play in the first half.
Timberwolves, man, they got to feel like they got a chance to steal some points here.
Absolutely. After Baylor called the timeout and wanting to cash in, make something happen on what they thought would be their last, well, probably will be their last offensive possession of the half, and it turns out benefiting the T-Wolves.
Jim, they go back to Anthony Jackson at quarterback and Elijah Lewis in the backfield.
One-on-one near sideline.
And you know what? Not a bad throw. Catchable. It's a one-on-one battle.
Yep.
Maybe not the perfect location.
And they like Malachi Lee, the receiver.
But again, you see how quickly they get rid of the football.
That's the difference, in my opinion. When you have Anthony Jackson back there, he spots something, bang, quick release, and as you mentioned, has the arm strength to get it there in a hurry. 2nd and 10 from 32. Still over a minute to play in the first half. So with Loudoun Academy still having a timeout, the middle of the field is still available. You got a lot of things to do. Flares it out far side, trying to make a miss. He misses. Gets past a couple and picks up just 2, maybe 3 yards.
Decent gain by Cam Wade.
And wisely gets out of bounds.
Well, they're going to run it. They're going to say he's inbounds.
Huh.
The clock continues to run.
Break for Baylor. So all that for a 2-yard pickup to around the 30-yard line. 3rd down and 8.
Timberwolves in no big hurry here.
No. Off the back foot and up in the air.
And it was caught for a touchdown.
Caught by Malachi Lee. Fans are booing because they thought there was a push off on Xavier Bowman that time. But Malachi Lee wins that battle. 30-yard touchdown pass. And a score right before the half with 21 seconds to play in half number 1.
Wow. Well, they liked Malachi Lee before the game, and we know why.
Big play right before the half. So that changes everything when you go in the locker room at halftime.
What a
and
difference.
21 seconds, right? But again, you give a good team a short field and not a good punt. Timberwolves take over at the 32-yard line.
That means single coverage. I think that ref mic works.
So does a whistle.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 21 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
We have seen a lot of those tonight. Are you marking that down?
That's 5
Gotcha.
pre-snap, 1 post-snap for the Timberwolves.
Gotcha.
And I've got 2 and 2 for the Red Raiders.
Jackson to Malachi Lee, 30 yards for the touchdown. And again, talk about that arm strength. He was backpedaling. That was off the back foot that time.
And a catchable football.
He just spotted that separation, put it up in the air, and said, I think my man could beat your man. That time he was right.
And that's a huge play, Jim.
You know what? It really could be. Extra point blocked. So with 21 seconds to play in the first half, Red Raiders will get it back. Great view, great look. Birds flying overhead. How did they plan that? See, our crew, they got it going on.
They're all over it.
Cue the birds.
Bingo.
Cue the full moon. It is a full moon night, right?
I'm going to take your word for it, JR.
Trust me on this one.
What an unbelievable. You thought Baylor had a chance
Yeah.
to.
Things
they're
really
up
reversed in this
10-0.
last 30 seconds, right?
And then you thought maybe they had a chance to at least put 3 on the
Yeah.
board. They go 3 and out. Use a grand total of 20 seconds. Loudoun. Man, the Timberwolves come back and throw a dart in the bottom back corner of the end zone. Malachi Lee reels it in.
Yeah, things really turned in a hurry. This will be returned up to the 20. There's a block at the 30. Running room at the 50. And a sprint the 30 yards the rest of the way by Antoine Cornbread Adams. But yes, on a return, what's the first thing you do? You look back, and you do indeed see that yellow flag.
Wow.
Obviously, some of those breaks made by LSA, Loudoun Sports Academy. That's a great look, isn't it? That's just
beautiful.
That's a Disney-esque look.
Red Raiders going to take a knee, go to the half, and regroup just a bit.
Yeah. It'll be interesting what Eric Kimry says at halftime. Close game. Remember we had a 4-point game in the second half last week? Same situation. We'll head into the second half with Baylor just up by 4. 10-6 the score at halftime. The scoring in the first half, a field goal, 32-yarder by Sam Shutters. DGG with a 1-yard run. And then right at the end of the first half, it was LSA with a touchdown.
Let's take a look at this.
Croucher early on.
Offense. A nice catch there by Braxton Rain. Coming right at you. Red Raiders on the move. And then, how about that defense?
Good pressure. Great job that time.
Emery Julien has been a force here in the first half.
He really has.
They go back to work on offense. And this time, yes, sir.
Antoine Adams.
Antoine Adams inside the 5, didn't score. That would lead to a missed field goal. And maybe, how about this? More defense here for the Red Raiders. And again, it's number 24, Emery Julien, comes up with a big sack there. And then this, Xavier Bowman, the deflection, the interception, the acceleration down the far sideline. And that would set up the Red Raiders' only touchdown of the first half. DGG from in close. 10-6, Red Raiders at the half.
Flags have made a difference. Turnovers have made a difference.
Fans, turn your attention toward the midfield.
Enjoy halftime here at Haywood Stadium.
It's time for tonight's student halftime showdown, the pool noodle battle. Student contestants will balance a cup right on top of their pool noodle while they try to knock off everyone else's cup and keep their own safe. We've selected contestants straight from the student section to battle it out. And the last one standing takes home an exclusive prize. Let's make some noise for your competitors.
Test, test.
Getting ready to start the second half. As you can see, a close game here at halftime. And the Red Raiders, I think, finding out, you know what? I got a game on their hands. 10-6. The score at halftime. And while the Timberwolves had a little momentum at the end of the first half, they get the football first. That's going to be an interesting possession. Key possession, I would say, for Loudoun Sports Academy out of Leesburg, Virginia. Playing their first game of the season. As you know, it's the Red Raiders' second game of the year. So here we go. We move to quarter number 3. Nice night here on the banks of the Tennessee River. Good crowd on hand. They booed loudly on occasion. So they're into the game a little bit.
Occasions.
Yes.
So in the first half, the Timberwolves were able to run a little bit on the Red Raider defense, and one explosive play in the back of the end zone. Again, the quick throw, and again, nice job by Xavier Bowman to close on the receiver and make a sure tackle.
Malachi Lee again, who has that one touchdown reception.
But you look at that, Jim, they took what the defense gave them. That's a big gain on first down, 6 yards.
Second down, 4th to 26. I think this is one of those, and most football games are. Find a matchup you like, and Malachi Lee is going to be a good matchup for the Timberwolves many times tonight. I see number 3 and number 1 matchup. That's quality right there. Spying the running back.
Boy, that's one that Elijah Lewis needed to reel in. His quarterback did a good job, went through progressions, nothing there, and they had a chance to turn that into maybe a first down.
Yeah.
And now you're sitting here at 3rd and 4.
Quarterback for the T-Wolves, I think Anthony Jackson does a good job of extending plays.
Yes.
That's one of the key words you use now. Can you extend plays? Because you're going to get pressure. He can move that pocket around. I thought he did a nice job of extending the play, just trying to dump off the pass. And Elijah Lewis couldn't make the reception. Even if it was only for 3 yards or something, that would have been key. Up in the air again.
Again, that's Will Butler. He should have had that football.
Yeah, he should have.
Luckily, that wasn't picked off. Man, when it's tipped that high and that softly in that part of the field, it's usually headed the other way in a hurry.
Yeah, that happened earlier tonight when the Red Raiders' Xavier Bowman won the tip drill, picked off a pass. So after getting those 6 yards on first down, Now you're in a punt situation.
Timberwolves having trouble getting enough people on the field.
Well, you don't want to burn a timeout
Boy,
this
we're down
this
to
early in the second
15
half.
seconds here.
He's not in a big hurry, though, I'll say that. Antoine Adams deep to return the kick. High kick. Adams puts it in reverse and fields it right around the 30-yard line.
That's a nice kick.
That, I believe, is the first 1, 2, 3 and out of the night.
And a heck of a decision there for the fair catch.
Well, he was going backwards that time, so he didn't have any momentum going
Ball
forward.
had a lot of spin on it.
Yeah. So Baylor gets their first possession of the second half. And the Red Raiders, yes, do begin right on the 30-yard line. That was just a, 65-second possession.
Yes.
First down and 10 from the 30. Keegan Croucher takes that high snap. Throws it near side to Antoine Adams, who makes the reception near side.
Cornerback Camden Taylor for the Timberwolves with a nice open field tackle. But you like that play, Jim, because if they run that again and that tackle's not that sure, we know what number 1 can do with the football.
That's one of those, that defensive back, it's real defensive, right? He goes, I got to keep that guy in front of me. You don't know how much help. You might get help, but it might be 25 yards down the field.
And that's interesting, Jim. That is no gain on that play. That was solid defense. We got a flag here.
After the play, personal foul, number 36 on the defense. 15 yards, first down.
Whew. Well, there you go. You have a positive play. If you're Loudoun Sports Academy, you've held your guy.
Yes.
You've done a good job, and yet you give up 15 yards on a first down for a personal foul. Either, well, it could be a variety of things, but
that's Leo Lamoureux with the big mistake there for the Timberwolves, and now Baylor's set up at the 45-yard line.
First and 10, 45. Adams is the wide receiver to the top of your screen. Hank DeGennaro at the bottom. And Stokes in the slot near side. It's Keegan Croucher to Stokes. Can't get past that one block. Now, DeGennaro's trying to make that block to give an opportunity for his teammate in the receiver room. Couldn't quite get the stop.
Just couldn't get enough of Jackson Harris.
Still a 3-yard gain to the 48-yard line. Second down and 7. Clock moving, still early in the third quarter. Baylor with just a 4-point lead, as you see. 10-6. Play action coming back. Receiver makes the catch, moving into Timberwolves territory. I think his forward progress will give him at least the 48, maybe only the 49-yard line. I think 48 will be about right.
That's a solid, accurate throw by Keegan Croucher. Braxton Rain sure-handed, hit him right between the numbers.
You just feel like Baylor wants to get Keegan Croucher going a little bit. Some quote-unquote safer throws, getting in rhythm a little bit. And watch, sooner or later, you'll see him bang a long one or bang a 15 or 17-yarder downfield. But first, you got to extend the drive. Third down. And Baylor's been pretty good on third down so far tonight, even in a low-scoring game. Tight end, Rain moves in motion to the left side. Little high snap, handoff, and running room again. He's almost automatic on third down.
One of the Timberwolves went for the strip, and that's just not a good decision.
You better tackle solidly against.
And for the first time tonight, the helmet comes off.
I think he was headed out anyway because JP at 2 was already headed in. Maybe he saw the helmet come out and said, that's my opportunity. First down for David Gabriel George, who has the touchdown so far tonight.
And Jim, I think this is where, if you're Baylor, you just want to be methodical here. Let's execute well. Let's march down the field, choose some clock.
That's why I think everything on this drive so far, it's been inside and outside, but it's all been safe. It's all been short. It's all been pretty well calculated. With time.
Wow. So much for my theory.
And wide open. Dinner is served. And give me a side of cornbread, if you will. Antoine Cornbread Adams beat his man. Croucher had enough time to throw it, enough arm strength. I think it was moving backwards. Found number one, and number one delivered. There you take a good look at Antoine Adams, 6'2", 180.
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
Yes.
Defense number 44. Touchdown is good. Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Let's check this out. Watch this play.
Watch the hit.
Croucher is going to, you can't really see it, but he took a shot, knew he was going to take a shot, and threw a dime to Cornbread Adams.
Yeah, he dropped it in there nicely, and Adams did a good job protecting that football. Kind of surprised Baylor not going for two, but I guess both teams have missed an extra point, so you're kind of still on schedule, right? Loudoun Sports Academy, they had an extra point blocked. So Baylor looking for their 17th point of the night. That gets through. (17-6). Red Raiders increased their lead to 11. Last week against Brentwood Academy, I keep pointing this out because I know so many people just saw that final score and said, yeah, Baylor beat Brentwood Academy 38-20, winning by 18. It was a 4-point game late in the second half.
Yes.
And then David Gabriel George went to work in the fourth quarter, and of course that separated everything, but it was not, quote-unquote, an 18-point game until late in that contest.
And that offensive line went to work in the second half.
Awesome.
Man, that was a strike by Keegan Croucher. That is an impressive throw.
.213 time of possession. Scoring at the 8:42 mark. 5 plays, 70 yards, and a 39-yard touchdown pass from Croucher to Adams for the score. Okay, here's the question. Do you put this one through the uprights and just see if you can get some points out of it?
Take a shot at it. Well, this is Sam Shutters with the kick now.
Right.
You know what, Jim? We may see some,
Yep, exactly.
Onside
Onside didn't surprise me at all.
And I think they wanted 72 to reel that kick in, and he decided to let that thing go. That was a good decision on his part.
Yes.
Timberwolves reel it in.
That's one of those, if you're Baylor, that's a good gamble to make after the 15-yard penalty
Absolutely.
was assessed on the kickoff. So you have a situation where you might try that onside.
And, you know, what a heck of a kick there. It's an onside kick. They recover it, and they still only start at the 28.
Yeah. So that's the old risk-reward. Worth the risk. 8:39 to play in the third quarter.
That's the second time that pass wasn't thrown where it needed to lead him more. It was thrown a
Yeah.
little bit behind and low. He was absolutely wide open. He was not accounted for by the Baylor defense. Elijah Lewis just out there in the flat waiting, but an inaccurate pass, and it's a loss of 4.
Second down at 14.
Yeah, when you complete the pass for -4, it's not a good thing.
It should have been an incompletion, really.
4-man front for the Red Raiders. They've gotten pretty good pressure tonight, and they are again. Wow.
My goodness.
And the pressure has been like that. It has come in a hurry, hasn't it?
Emory Julian and Isaac Benson, 2 seniors.
Julian has been outstanding, I think, tonight. He just may have his man's number, right? Because he's been in the backfield at least 3 or 4 times so far tonight. Putting pressure a lot, but getting to the quarterback with regularity.
Now, they're going to go to 4 receivers here. The only thing that can hurt you is letting somebody get behind you or a penalty. You need the same pass rush.
Well, quarterback's going to need time to do that. You don't mind him rushing at this point. There you go.
And again, that's Chance Thomas there. Not Anthony Jackson.
Right. So they switched quarterbacks.
That's a pretty solid effort. That's 4th now and about 4.
Yeah. So we got a chunk of it back.
And the offense is going to stay on the field here.
Interesting. That's an interesting call right here. So you're using your number 2 quarterback still? Yes. On 4th down and 4 in your own territory.
Oh, my goodness. And your center, Isaac Spielman, picks up the ball too early.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
You see a shot of that coaching staff for the Timberwolves. That is a frustrating penalty.
I can read that body language.
They had something they liked there.
And now they're going to punt. And that makes sense. A 4th and 4 becomes a 4th and 9. You're still in your own territory. Now you're snapping it from the 30. What could go wrong there?
And you're down 17-6.
Yeah.
So
that 5, you think it's just a 5-yard penalty? That changed the whole scenario of that play. And they're thinking on that sideline. They will work on special teams this week, I'm just telling you. Another man kind of late to the party. Takes that Timberwolf roll all the way down to about the 15-yard line. So they really come out smelling like a rose, right?
Jim, all things considered, that is a win for the Timberwolves special teams.
Based on the roll. So 6:18 to play in the 3rd quarter. 1st down and 10 for the Red Raiders. You got plenty of field. Maybe perfect time for that long 6-minute drive, right? Starting on your own 15-yard line. 1st down and 10 from the 15. JP at 2 in the backfield for the Red Raiders. Play action to him. There's a nice pass, little play action. Giving it to Antoine Adams. Antoine Adams uses his body well, I think.
Shielded the defender from that play. Maybe the pass a little bit behind it, but he reeled it in and then ran, and the result, 1st down.
Picks up 11 yards from the 15 to the 26-yard line. Will be 1st down, 10 yards to go. Clock running, as you can see. Croucher, they tried that a couple times tonight, moving the pocket near side, then going back the other way.
That was Kimonta Chaplin with the pressure that time, which blew the play up. Jim, that's a really hard pass to throw with touch falling backwards.
Yeah, when you're moving to your right and then throwing back left, sometimes some bad things can happen because you got to put a much zing on it. I'm not sure he had quite enough. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. 2nd and 10, clock stop. 5 minutes and 44 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Tight game so far. That's 17-6.
Timberwolves defense closing the door on that play.
Nothing between the tackles that time for JP at 2.
JP at 2 on the carry.
So it'll be 3rd down. 3rd down about 8. Third down and 11. So at the 24-yard line and have to get to the 35. Third down, 11 yards to go. Pressure, he hangs in there. Ooh.
Wow.
Very, I'll say another very
been picked
fortunate
off.
that was not picked off.
Jackson Harris should have had that and should be in the end zone right now.
That's one of those you kind of lock down a receiver,
And
move the pocket again. Thought you had a receiver, but
And again, Jim, from the right defensive end spot, number 11, Kimonta Chaplin, he has caused trouble really from the second quarter on for the Baylor offense.
Rusty Wright, the head coach of the Mocs, talks about all the time, your eyes have to be in the right place. That time for that corner, the eyes were in the right place. He read the quarterback's eyes, felt like it was coming his way, broke on the football, and the only thing he didn't do well was
reeling in.
Catch it.
Man, that's a dangerous punt. They almost got to that one.
They sure did, but he had to avoid that rush, and he gets the benefit of a bounce as the ball will roll dead around the 31-yard line. There's a lot of pressure that time by the T-Wolves. Red Raiders did a nice job of simply getting that one off.
Once again now, Baylor defense needs to be up to the task. A key penalty on the center killed that last drive.
Sure did. That was really critical. On a fourth down play. Now beginning from the 31-yard line. Slinging that football as far as he can throw.
Chance Thomas had his man. He had Cam Wade. It was just a touch underthrown.
I think he used about all of the arm strength he had.
I think you're right. That was a line drive throw that time. Number 31, Isaac McCarty, with some nice defense that time.
Yeah, I agree. So we've used a couple different quarterbacks so far tonight. Wow.
That's at least 3 drops.
That's what I was going to say.
That at least could have started something positively. And they have been quite content to just go strictly strictly air here. We have not seen Elijah Lewis running the football, or we haven't seen Marquise Sharp.
I thought he was pretty darn good
Since the first half. Lewis is in there now, and again, Chance Thomas, number 9, at quarterback.
Thomas, number 9, on this third down play, third down and long. Chased, spins, keeps the play alive, but again, that's not going to last forever. You only have a few seconds. They always talk about that clock in the mind of a quarterback.
Well, if you're going to run as a quarterback tonight, you get 1 spin.
Yeah.
You don't get 2. You got to go north and south after the first spin, but that thing was just blown up. And again, what an answer by the Baylor defense.
For sure. This drive, a negative 2 yards. They took possession at the 31. Right now they're at the 29-yard line, so negative 2 so far. But you're right earlier when you talked about receivers not helping out quarterbacks.
They have not helped out in the second half here.
Fourth down and 12. The punt looks like a good one.
That one kind of takes a Baylor bounce. You thought that had a good 15 yards of roll in it. Instead, it rolls out of bounds.
Baylor changed return men that time. It wasn't Adams, as Adams is, a couple of them had hit the ground and taken long rolls. So they changed, and again, that is an art. You got to have a certain mindset to be a punt returner in any level.
No doubt.
That takes a special breed of cat right there. 3:25 to play third quarter. Red Raiders with the lead. Are they just lulling everyone to sleep? Beginning at the 38-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. 1st and 10 from the 38. Braxton Rain moves in motion, ends up right side. High snap, up the middle. The cure for everything is number 0. Picks up an easy 7 yards up to the 45-yard line. He gets one spin move too, or does he get 2?
He gets as many as he wants.
that's probably the right answer.
He also gets the Superman flip that we saw last week.
That made every highlight reel, didn't it?
DG
as it should have.
Is in his own zone.
Many are called, few are chosen, right? 45-yard line after a 7-yard pickup on that first down play. You almost feel like Loudoun Academy is just hanging around. Sometimes that can be deadly. Croucher pulls it back. Boy, that's a dart in the middle of the field. Catch made, down to the 10, down to the 15, and Stokes with a touchdown. And that was a rifle shot from Keegan Croucher. Beckham Stokes makes the catch. Hope he's got some sticky on those gloves because that was tough to hang on to. And that was definitely a fastball.
That had some speed on it. Beckham Stokes, number 7, reels it in. Let's take a look at this. Croucher, watch this. Fastball. You thought he was going to Braxton Rain. No, it was Beckham Stokes. Tiptoes down the sideline.
That was nice.
Touchdown.
That was nice. 2:23 mark of the third quarter. Extra point forthcoming. Croucher to Stokes for 45 yards. That didn't work well. Went for 2, rolled out near side. So that drive was a quickie, something that Baylor is very good at. They score at the 2:23 mark, so 62 seconds time of possession. Red Raiders go 62 yards in 2 plays.
How about the speed from Beckham Stokes?
Yes. Called his name a couple of times tonight, but that was nice right there. How about just being able to hang on to that one?
I mean, that was
coming in there quick,
drilled.
coming in there hot. Makes the nice catch, knows what to do with the football, tucks it away, and finds the end zone. Nice play, big play to make it all of a sudden 23-6. Little breathing room for the Red Raiders all of a sudden. As they try for their 14th straight victory. Out of the end zone once again. Good catch by the Photog, I would say. (23-6). So if we're scoring this like a fight, last week Baylor definitely wins the second half, and so far this third quarter has been not a TKO, but pretty close to putting Loudoun Sports Academy away in quarter number 3 with some big plays.
Yeah, last week was 2 heavyweights trading body shots.
No question, for 3 quarters for sure. Starting from the 21st down, 10 yards to go.
And again, Jim, that's at least 4 in the second half.
Pass is incomplete. Second down and 10.
A lack of support for Chance Thomas. I can see where Anthony Jackson could get you out of trouble sometimes. So far, Chance hasn't had much of a chance. And again, you get that many drops, and many of them have been when he has been at that quarterback spot. Your receivers have to help you out sometimes if you're a quarterback. Not everything's going to be perfect. 2nd and 10.
This time he takes it himself. I think that is their first run play of the second half.
You might be right. Elijah Lewis also had a gap that time, so they've kind of lulled Baylor into that pass, and then turn around, switch up a little bit, go between the tackles and pick up some yards, setting up this 3rd down. 3rd down, about 4. Clock running in the final 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter, as you can see. And it's 3rd down and short for the Timberwolves. There's the big man.
Wow. That was a physical run and a physical stop by the Baylor defensive line.
Yeah, Elijah Lewis is no small individual, so it only took about 4 to bring him down. Finishes shy of the 1st down.
Ike Lewis, among the host of other
Yeah.
folks in red, physically stopping that play and that drive.
Just a lot of humanity stacked up right at the line of scrimmage on a relatively short 3rd down play. Now a 4th down play. Interesting that they went for, well, you know, you're still at the 30-yard line or 20-yard line.
And again, Jim, they have trouble getting enough people in the right places on the field here.
Yeah, they only had 9.
Teams.
Or did they only have 8? You know, I understand you have 10. But when you go out there and there's only 8, say,
And
what's wrong with this picture?
Prior to the snap, delay a game, offense number 21, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
And you know what the punter says? I was here.
Yeah,
I wasn't late to
like
class.
I said, they got that delay of game penalty early on a punt. It can't be that tough. See, 36 is saying, yeah, I counted. Yeah, we got 11 this time. Go ahead.
That hit a player. Okay, I guess it hit a Timberwolf.
Joking about getting the right numbers on the punt. If you've ever seen on the sideline, sometimes it looks like a twister game, right? So they have the special team stand there on the dots and say special team. And there's 11 spots on there. They'll say, we're going to punt coming up. Make sure we got someone covering every dot. Make sure we got 11 going in. That's what that's for. That's why they simply came out with that many years ago to make sure that you don't have those situations where you only have 8 and you're supposed to have 11.
Baylor in great field position here at the 43.
Well, the ball is dead when it hits, right? Or am I wrong on that?
I don't know, Jim, to be honest with you. And there's 2 officials outside our booth I can ask.
Gotcher's still in there at the quarterback spot. Starts this drive from the 42-yard line and completes that near midfield.
And he finds Hank DeGennaro with an easy completion. 6 yards on 1st down. And that should bring us to the 4th quarter.
Quarter number 3 expires. And Baylor heads into the 4th quarter with a 23-6 lead. The only points that LSA has came with 21 seconds left to play in the 1st half. We begin the fourth quarter with Baylor owning a 23-6 lead. Play action. Slant over the middle. They like it. And like the separation from Antoine Adams.
Once again, Keegan Croucher, under a little bit of pressure, threw a strike to Antoine Cornbread Adams.
And the slant has worked well tonight, hasn't it?
That was set up by the formation. Wow.
Wide open again. That's another thing the Red Raiders have done tonight. Move the pocket left, come back right. Or move the pocket right, this time moving it right, coming back left. That's worked a lot tonight. So I think they feel the T-Wolves are over pursuing, right? So they can come back the other way and then burn the opposition. That time it works to bring it down to the 8-yard line.
Jim, that pass is hard to throw
It sure
with
is.
that kind of touch when you've been under duress on this very drive. Nice pass.
At 2 up the middle.
Talk to the officials about that punt. If that ball would have hit a Baylor player, you would have seen the beanbag come out.
Sure.
It would have been treated like a fumble.
Yes.
When it hits the kicking team, it's as if it didn't.
It's
just
still
continues
live.
to roll. Yeah.
Still live. Gotcha.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Offense number 18, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Braxton Rain. We're going to go to 2nd and 20 now.
That's a big walk-off. So move it all the way back to where we were just a moment ago.
We're going to call it 1st and 23.
That means 1st and goal from the 23. It was 1st and goal from the 8. Croucher keeps near side, cuts it back and extends the football, and yes, hands up in the air, touchdown Red Raiders.
That is a dimension that we have not seen in the past couple of years.
That's one thing I said, the obvious question at the beginning of the season, compare the two quarterbacks, right? And he said, that is one thing. Croucher has a little bit more escapability, can run a little bit better.
And that was a designed run. He had some blockers out in front, and what a nice close little dive across the goal line.
Red Raiders looking for their 30th point of the night, and got it. Keegan Croucher using the legs a little bit.
Let's take a look at this. Looks like play action. It's just get your quarterback on the left side and let him do the rest. A couple of nice blocks, and it's a touchdown for Keegan Croucher and the Red Raiders.
Red Raiders with touchdowns in 3 of their last 4 possessions now. .48 yards, 1:41. Red Raiders get in the end zone in just 4 plays. Croucher with a 23-yard touchdown run to make it 30-23. Sorry, 30-6. Was 23-6, now 36 following the touchdown run. 1-on-1, fly pattern down the far sideline. Tried to drop it in there. Looked like a pretty good toss.
And once again, we have Anthony Jackson returning at quarterback, and he throws a beautiful pass to get that drive started.
It just looked.
There.
Yeah, I guess they're calling a PI on that, pass interference.
I think they're going to call it complete.
Oh, it was complete. He had it, I guess, as he went out of bounds. It looked like he lost the possession, though. That's what I thought. They're going to give him. They're going to give him midfield, 30-yard pickup, 1st and 10.
Wow, that play was made defensively by number 24. We called his name a lot tonight, Emery Julian, who just blew that play up. Anthony Jackson barely had time to get his feet set under him.
Although I have to say, I don't know, for Anthony Jackson, that's a big deal.
True.
Because he has thrown him moving forward, backward, flat-footed, thrown it sidearm a lot. Interesting delivery. But he's thrown under duress many, many times tonight. And a lot of times it's been Julian that's applied that pressure. 2nd down. Far sideline again, contact.
Yeah, they're going to throw the hat and a flag. They're going to call pass interference on Xavier Bowman. They're going to say that he shoved him out of bounds.
The hat means,
means out of bounds.
That you went out of bounds, and you have to then reestablish yourself to get inbounds.
I think the flag means he was, in the interpretation of the official, he was pushed out of bounds.
He established himself as committing an infraction.
Pass interference. Defense number 3. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's been a good matchup tonight, though, hasn't it?
It has. I'd like to see that again. Looks like a tough call, but again, that decision was made, Jim, on that pass before the snap. They saw exactly what they wanted. Anthony Jackson just put it where either you're going to get it or nobody is. And they got the call that they needed.
Down to the 34-yard line here in the 4th quarter. Throws in the end zone, incomplete, a little bit overthrown.
A couple of referees in the stands, it sounds like.
Working for free. It's called volunteering where I come from.
He was looking for 17, Alan Gillis. He just didn't have the time to really lead him the way he wanted to.
Yeah, I'm not sure slow developing plays have been the best friend of the Timberwolves so far tonight, especially with Julian seemingly ending up in that backfield all night long.
What they've done, though, is they've pushed the Red Raiders in behind the quarterback, and they've given him more time to throw. Not this time.
Well, I think they're going to say that's a late hit out of bounds.
That's a heck of a completion. Anthony Jackson, 1 foot almost out of bounds, and he found his tight end, Will Butler. I thought they had him reeled in.
He waited until the absolute last second he had to throw the football downfield. And again, we've talked about this all night long. The quick release was pretty impressive.
That is supreme confidence in your arm. That was a very
personal
difficult
foul,
throw.
roughing the passer. Defense number 9. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
So they tack on the penalty on Corey Faulkner.
Yeah, Corey Faulkner was pleading his case. You might have seen it on the screen because the quarterback went out of bounds and Faulkner couldn't pull up. Saw the flag and talked to the official, and guess who wins that? So all the way down to about the 3.5-yard line where it'll be 1st and goal.
Again, what a quick strike.
I was going to say, found his man open on, again, a little bit of a slant type of look. And
found Malachi Lee.
And Malachi Lee has shown tonight from the very beginning of this game, he is a force to be reckoned with. He is a pretty darn good player.
And I think Anthony Jackson needs to drive the car.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a split decision on that one. They have moved it well. Somehow receivers have caught it every time for him.
Well, his pace of play is a lot less methodical. If you're a receiver, that ball is coming out quickly.
You better be ready.
You better have your head around. Boom, exhibit another example.
Came in there pretty quick.
Same play they ran, they scored the touchdown on.
Yeah, couldn't hang on.
That was Cam Wade, who took a pretty serious shot there.
That's a big drive for
That is.
Loudoun Sports. Loudoun Sports Academy from Leesburg, Virginia. They scored the 10-10 mark. They go 80 yards, so they have a long way to go. Some nice plays, couple of penalties along the way. Took possession at the 10:46 mark, scored at the 10:10 mark. So they only took 36 seconds off the clock, scoring in 5 plays, aided by some penalties. And I'm not going to say back in the game, but a little bit closer with 10-10 to play. And with 10 minutes to play in a fourth quarter in a high school football game,
you never know.
A lot of things can still happen. Baylor will get the football in a moment. It's my favorite time of the night right there. And the kick in the end zone, and Antoine Davis watches it roll in, and the Red Raiders will be content to begin at the 20-yard line. Again, here's for Baylor, you'd like to have that long drive.
I'll take the red one. I'll take the red Powerade.
You know what color you can't get?
Can't get blue.
You can't get blue.
Not here. Not tonight and not next week either.
They told us that last week. I said, you know what? I never
that
realized
the
that
hard way.
before. Don't ask for blue. Red all night long.
I recommend the hamburgers highly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oof.
Wow.
You get hit in the back like that. My back hurts just watching
He
that.
catch the football,
Sure did.
caught it, almost lost it behind his back.
Jaden Cuvier.
Jaden Cuvier, the freshman,
Yeah.
that was an impressive catch.
Took a little punishment. When you're a freshman, though, you want playing time.
You're not picky. That's right.
You say, I know this is going to hurt, right? I know this is going to hurt.
A lot more if you drop the ball.
It's going to hurt more in the film room
Yes,
than it does
this
right.
is true.
It does right there.
This is true. Number 11 for the Timberwolves, defensively, Kemonta Chaplin. He's had a great game tonight.
Had a little jump step a couple of times. Works his way and fights his way. Did he get enough for a first down?
They're going to move the chains.
Sure did.
Hurry, Jim. You have 17 minutes. And this is what they need, a methodical drive.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Consistency and safety on this drive.
Yeah, don't let Loudoun Sports start thinking they have a chance to get back in the game like we were talking about a moment ago. 9:19 remaining. Clock moving once again. Play action. Throw underneath. Pass complete. Boy, Braxton Rain doesn't have doesn't have a lot of yardage tonight, but he's made a lot of good catches. He's gotten open a lot tonight.
He's been very reliable, and you can tell that Keegan Croucher has a lot of confidence in knowing where he's going to be.
Absolutely.
In certain spots on the field, and it's an easy throw.
Again, that's not for the highlight reel, but he picks up 8 yards. All of a sudden, you're in a 2nd and 2 situation.
And the clock continues to run. He's sure-handed.
Absolutely.
And took a couple of shots, too.
Yeah, big body, big reliable guy. It's going to catch the football. Give you 8 yards, like I said. You get yards on first down. You stay, quote unquote, on schedule. It's not enough for a first down. Yeah, if you're down, I do that all the time. If I fall or whatever, I'll do a push up or 20, like Dante Wade.
You stay in the moment.
Sometimes Marine, sometimes not. Just depends on what mood I'm in.
Big Grant Vincent, number 79, checks out for the Red Raiders at left guard.
6'5", 305 junior. 3rd down. This is a big conversion play right here. Make it easy on yourself. At 2, I don't think he got there. He had some momentum. Good play by the defensive line for Loudoun Academy. Good job right there.
Maybe just by the length of the football.
I don't see anyone being too perky about it right now. I think we got a 4th down. I don't know. They are giving him the first down.
Give him the spot.
That's big right there, because now you start counting. Every first down is at least 2 minutes off the clock, right? So now you're going to be able to bring it down to somewhere around 5 minutes, even if you don't pick up another first down. You got an 18-point lead. Timberwolves need 3 scores. So now you start counting possessions. How many possessions?
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 13, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's on Hank DeGennaro.
So back 5 yards and move it to the 36-yard line. First and 15 from the 36-yard line. See Eric Kimry going for career win number 240 tonight. 239 high school victories as we speak right now. 45 of those at Baylor. His record at Baylor is right now 45-6. He's lost a grand total of 6 games, this being his 5th year as the head coach of the Red Raiders. So his average loss is just over 1 game a year.
Well, the trajectory of this program has been nothing but straight up since he came here.
No, there's absolutely no question about that. After 12 state championships in South Carolina, he's got 2 in Tennessee. Moving backward, throwing forward. Picking up the yardage across the 45 to the 46 or 47-yard line.
Again, Jim, not a highlight play, but the poise by Keegan Croucher to set that play up, looking off the defense, and then throwing a very catchable ball to his running back. That's great execution.
I would say that's the story of Keegan Croucher so far tonight. Had a nice run for a touchdown. Hasn't tried to force the issue anytime.
Nothing.
And have used both running backs. Both Canadian running backs, I should say. That tariff rule's not affecting anything there,
It's not
right?
hurting anything here.
Gotcha. Clock stopped. go. Another big third down play. Pressure.
Dangerous pass.
Yeah,
nice
it was.
defense. May have gotten there a little early.
Might have gotten there. I just saw two guys going for the football. In all honesty, I would not. And again, I'm not.
And Amir Williams, number 7, got his hand on the football.
Sure did.
But I think they're going to call him for pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 7.
Yep.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
I'll tell you what, I'm with you, Jim.
That's
a tough call.
That's a no call from me. That's a no call from me. I saw two guys going for the football. No one has a right to the football, right? It's up for grabs when it's there.
All I can think is from that angle, it looked like maybe they thought that Braxton had position. But when the DB gets their hand on the football.
Yeah.
In any case, 1st and 10 Red Raiders.
And the clock will run in just a moment. And they bring it down to the 43-yard line. Baylor on the Timberwolves 43. Braxton Rain moves in motion once again. Up the middle for the handoff. There's your one spin move. Gets inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. That's about a 5-yard pickup on first down.
Boy, it could have been a whole lot more.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But JP at 2 has run hard tonight.
He's gotten a lot of opportunities, a lot of carries. Red Raiders in no hurry right now. Using all the time they can on that play clock, which is now at 10. Second down. Over the middle once again to Braxton Rain. You better bring a posse if you want to bring him down. That's what we were talking about a moment ago. Doesn't go down easy, does it?
Basically a slant play. That thing was set up before the ball was snapped. They gave him too much cushion, and Braxton Rain and Keegan Croucher made him pay on that one.
And Croucher's hobbling off, right? Or is that Braxton?
That's Braxton.
That's Braxton hobbling off.
And to your point, Jim, clock running. We're at the about hit the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, when you hit those first downs, that's another 2 minutes.
And now you really lean on your offensive line.
Yeah, JP, if you think you've gotten some carries so far tonight, you might be busy the rest of the way. Croucher unloads. Nice safety valve over there. Moving backwards. Found his safety valve receiver right there.
Heck of a play. Number 88, Brady Lewis, another solid tight end. Just was waiting, Jim. He was the safety valve, and it worked.
Yeah, he was not primary receiver, but he was ready when that 88 number was called, right? Picks up good yards. It'll be second down. Good yards down to about the 13-yard line. Picks up 7. Second down and 3 at the 13. Clock stop right now. 4 minutes and 31 seconds left to play. Baylor up by 18. Won by 18 in week number 1. Lead by 18 right now. Croucher throws. Look at that. Wide open. Wow. That's one of those, make sure you hang on and make the reception right there.
How about that? That is the freshman Jaden Covier. Absolutely wide open.
His first career TD. He was so wide open that that's when you start worrying, oh, I better catch this. Better catch this. Yes, he did. The freshman with the touchdown reception. So for the second week in a row, we talked about this pregame. Baylor had a chance to wear down opponents. It was a 10-6. Remember, again, this week, it was a 10-6 game at halftime. Now you look at that score with the extra point forthcoming. Baylor scores 13 points in the third quarter, and so far 14 or 13 as we speak in the fourth quarter. 13-yard touchdown pass.
Prior to the snap, encroachment. Defense number 7. That penalty is declined. Replay the down.
Extra point. Not a problem. Point number 37 of the night for the Red Raiders. We'll go up by 25. Watch the freshman.
Beats his man deep.
Woof.
Gets both feet in bounds, and the freshman scores his first touchdown of the season.
Well, we called for a long drive. How about 80 yards? You talk about what the doctor ordered. They took possession at the 10-10 mark, scored the touchdown with 4:25 left to play in the game. So a drive that's almost 6 minutes long. .545 time of possession. And 9 plays. 9 plays, 80 yards, 545, and a 13-yard touchdown reception. Keegan Croucher saw his man, had won the battle, gets in the end zone. The one thing you don't want to do, throw it too high or throw it near the boundary, right? You don't want your receiver to jump up in the air and come down out of bounds when he's that wide open, and he was that wide open.
Well, I think Keegan had so much on that football, too. There wasn't a whole lot of time to think about what if. There was just enough time to react.
Red Raiders have really dominated this second half. Red Raiders 5 possessions in the second half. That's about right. Usually get about 10 a game. 5 possessions, 4 touchdowns in the second half of this contest tonight. So now you know a team's forced to pass. They become one-dimensional. What do? You send everybody.
Chance Thomas just got eaten up.
Yeah, players like to play, but situation like this,
difficult.
You're to say the least, difficult and sometimes painful. This is the first game of the season for Loudoun Sports Academy. They will play at Rayburn Gap next week. Red Raiders will play at they will play at the Hun School next week, then Rayburn Gap. Red Raiders will be at Rayburn Gap next week.
What a catch.
That was nice.
By Cam Wade.
Red Raiders on the road the next 2 weeks at Rayburn Gap, and then at Trinity, then at home to take on CPA, MBA, Macaulay, bye week, and then Legacy. So on the road for 4 at home. Final 4 games, if you will, at home with a bye weekend worked into there as well. And the final 2 games for the Red Raiders on the road in district play, region play.
Goodness.
Who wants it more?
Xavier did. It has been a night of ups and downs, but Xavier Bowman up to the challenge on that one.
He's had a big night tonight, and for whatever reason, I don't know if they quote-unquote gone after him, but the ball's been in his neck of the woods a whole lot tonight. And he has more than held his own, I would say.
I don't know if they've gone after him as much as they wanted to get it to the certain receiver.
Right.
Look, they got two guys. It's either Malachi Lee or Cam Wade. And wherever they are, the first read that even looks open, that's where they're going to go, especially down 18, down 25.
So picked off by Xavier Bowman. That's his second pick tonight, right?
Yes.
Because he got the deflection early on,
did.
right?
And nearly took it down. That he nearly scored.
So 2 picks on the night. Not bad on the touchback at the 20-yard line. 2:36 remaining. We may see a pass or two on this drive, but I would say doubtful. And I don't think either side wants to stop the clock, so we'll see.
It'll be interesting to see when the Timberwolves come back to face McCauley, if they still have 2 quarterbacks playing the way they have tonight.
Second down.
Costamadio in at quarterback.
So little Kaz.
And you know, Jim, you talked early in the opening of this game about depth. I think that was certainly a factor here in the second half.
I thought it was last week.
The Timberwolves, talented.
Yes.
Just not quite enough.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. These first 2 games, you've seen the Red Raiders' depth basically be the 12th man.
And wearing people down in the second half.
That offensive line, you have to give credit to those guys up front.
Clock stop with 1:41 remaining on 3rd down and 7. Not enough right there. Let's see if Loudoun calls a timeout right here with 90 seconds to play.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
For some reason. That's David Knowles, the freshman, with the carry there.
Yeah, I think everyone's ready to head to the house. When you're down 25 late in the game, you got a long trip ahead of you back to Virginia. Loudoun Sports Academy from Leesburg, Virginia. Watching that play clock, which is down to 3, 2, and 1.
Sam, yeah, that pump was blocked.
Wow.
He recovered, and the T-Wolves are going to have the ball at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, on 4th down, doesn't matter who recovers there.
He usually turns to his right. He did that time, and he turned right into the Timberwolves' rush.
Bad idea. 44 seconds remaining. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 5 in the final minute of play. Baylor up 37-12. Baylor gave up 6 points in the second quarter, 6 in the third. So far, none in the fourth. Now, if I'm the Timberwolves, I still want to run one more play. If I have a chance to get in the end zone.
I agree. Your program's 2 years old. You have
Timeout,
some talent.
Loudoun Academy. It's their first timeout of the half.
They know that too.
So they call the timeout with 34 seconds, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. You want to show your players, hey,
this is a long-term. Yeah, you learn how to compete.
You have a chance to get into the end zone here late. They know what the score is. And again, you like to build on things, and Coaches love to have a positive to take into the next game.
I mean, look, it's tough to lose on the road, but scoring a touchdown late is better than not.
Absolutely. Again, Eric Kimry closing on victory number 240 in his 21st year as a head coach in the high school ranks. 5 at Baylor, 17 at the Hammond School, so that would be 22nd year. Not a math major. Dropped in the backfield.
Wow.
And hit.
And again, Jim, no Anthony Jackson.
Yeah, you would think Anthony Jackson would be the perfect guy that has that escapability around the goal line.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Thomas.
That's just Coach Reynolds going to work.
Timeout, Loudoun Academy. That's their second timeout of the half.
Okay, I don't know about that one. Coach Reynolds, I don't know. I think Coach Reynolds would have said, okay, we gave it a shot.
Well, just run a play, you know? I mean, that's a coaching moment in itself. Can you run a play with 24 seconds left on 3rd and 9 to score? A little indecisive, then he lost the handle of the football, and the Red Raiders made him pay on that one.
You get a little delay the way that defensive line has gotten penetration tonight. They've done a pretty good job all night long getting to quarterbacks.
I agree.
They may have to do it for one more play.
Chance Thomas with a great effort.
Don't think that Baylor defense doesn't have pride either. They know they've won the game, right?
True.
They don't want to give up a touchdown.
Because they have to look at film next week.
Yeah,
also.
absolutely.
Timeout, Loudoun Academy. That's their third and final timeout of the half.
Well, you can't take them back to Virginia, Jim. You can't take the timeouts with you.
One more opportunity.
I got to give Chance Thomas E for effort on that one.
He didn't go down, right?
I think he took about 5 shots on that one.
Oh, premature celebration. There's still 10 seconds left. And this is 4th down. Red Raiders with a nice 25-point lead. Won 38-20 last week. Lead 37-12 right now. So I can figure that out. Their scoring average is 37.5.
And that should get it done most weeks.
I was going to say. Top-ranked team in the state of Tennessee. Number 12 in the country, according to Max Preps. And the defense wants to keep him out of the end zone one more time. Flings it up in the air.
They're going to call that incomplete, and man, that's a ball that should have been caught. My goodness. Hit him right in the hands, but the Baylor defense just was able to snatch that loose, and that's how this game's going to end.
I think it's going to end. They have to take a knee, right?
True.
Or start the clock. So Baylor takes over on downs. But I feel confident that will be your final 37-12 with 3 seconds remaining. We'll figure it out.
Mission accomplished.
Academy 12. And your
See, Keegan, they made Keegan Croucher go out there and take that negative yard on his stats, right? Hey, you take that negative yard, take the knee. Kill the final 3 seconds. And the Red Raiders with a 37-12, 25-point win to go to 2-0 on the year. So 2 hard-fought victories at home. Now it's 2 straight on the road at Raven Gap next week and at Trinity the following weekend. Next home game will be at home against CPA on the 18th. CPA on the 18th, MBA on the 25th, McCauley on October 2nd. That's a good team from Loudoun Sports Academy. But you're right, there's just a lot of more red jerseys right there.
Yep.
And I think, as we said, depth and physicality kind of wore down the Timberwolves in the second half of the game. Just like last week, close at halftime, but Red Raiders pull away to coast to the win, 37-12 the final score, and Baylor goes to 2-0 for the season. The winning streak now 14 games in a row. Keegan Croucher, a good night tonight. I thought Braxton Rain had a good night tonight. I think Xavier Bowman, pretty impressive. Couple of picks tonight for Xavier Bowman.
A night of excellence and a night of perseverance.
Yeah.
Red Raider fans, join us in singing the Baylor alma mater.
The Red Raider fans and team join in the tradition right now. So we enjoyed the alma mater. Let's relive a good night for the Red Raiders on week number 2 of the season, win number 2 of the season as well.
Well, they come out firing. They go inside to Braxton Rain. He had a big night, as we've talked about. Keegan Croucher on target. Defense, yes sir, they showed up as well. Big night for number 24. We go back to offense. And again, it is number 1 getting it done. Explosive tonight. That one early in the first quarter got things really cranked up for the Red Raiders. And again, a night for the defense also. Anthony Jackson in serious trouble, brought down, and once again, Emery Julian, number 24, a factor. And how about Xavier Bowman, number 3, is on the spot, gets the deflection, turns it into an interception, and the Red Raiders defense in control in the first half. That sets up DGG, who else, from a yard out. 10-6 at the half. Boy, that Red Raider defense tight. Corey Faulkner, his second straight strong game. The air attack. We go back to number 1. Antoine Cornbread Adams. That for a touchdown. More offense to come. Croucher, he's going to go deep. This time, number 7. Beckham Stokes, how about the wheels? He gets into the end zone for another Baylor touchdown. That makes it 23-6 on the 45-yard strike, 62 yards in 2 plays. And then Croucher calls his own number, gets a couple of good blocks by Braxton Rain and Hank DeGennaro. He takes it in for the touchdown. That's a 23-yard run to make it 30-6. And the fun is on. The freshman, Keegan Crowder, Jaden Cavier to make it 37-12. And the defense would take over after that. Xavier Bowman, his second pick of the night. And the Red Raiders go on to close it out with a 37-12 win.
Yeah, Julian inside and Xavier Bowman outside. That was a 1-2 competition. 1-2 on defense tonight. So another win for the Red Raiders. Baylor on the road next week at Raven Gap. Next home game against CPA on the 18th. Red Raiders win again tonight and remain the #1 ranked team in the state of Tennessee. See you in a couple weeks. CPA here on the 18th at Haywood Stadium.